Hello everyone, welcome to QAxon. So in this video, you will learn about gradation of muscular activity. Under this topic, I will be introducing you to three terms, namely muscle twitch, summation, and tetanus, all of which are to do with the response of a skeletal muscle fiber to action potentials of different frequencies. So here we go. Now, depending on the number of impulses that a single muscle fiber receives at a given point in time, the contraction can be divided into a simple muscle twitch, summation, and tetanus. So let's first discuss the muscle twitch. Now, what is the meaning of muscle twitch? If you apply a single stimulus, then the response that you get from the skeletal muscle fiber is called muscle twitch. So that is made up of contraction followed by relaxation. So how do you define muscle twitch? It is the response of the muscle to a single action potential. Now the graph has different components. The first part of the graph, this portion, is called the latent period. So this is the time between the point of stimulation and the onset of contraction. Now this is followed by the contraction period, which is the time interval between the onset of contraction and the peak of contraction. And that is followed by the relaxation period, which is the time from the peak of contraction to the end of relaxation. So this is a labeled graph of the simple muscle twitch. As you can see in this diagram, this is the point of stimulation and the contraction begins here. So this is the latent period, and this time duration, that is between the onset of contraction and the peak of contraction, is called the contraction period. And this duration from the peak of contraction to the end of relaxation is called the relaxation period. As is evident from this graph, the relaxation period is much longer than the contraction period. So when you apply a single stimulus, the response is a muscle twitch. What if you give two consecutive stimuli? Then the result is called summation. Now, if you look at this graph, this is the first stimulus, and that has resulted in a muscle twitch. Now, while the muscle is relaxing, there is the second stimulus. So instead of completing the process of relaxation, the muscle goes into the next contraction. So this is the second muscle twitch. So this means that the contractions have added up because the muscle has not fully relaxed. It has moved on to the next contraction. So this addition of contractions because of consecutive stimuli is referred to as summation. So this is an important mechanism by which the skeletal muscle fiber increases its force of contraction. Now this is very important when you want to sustain a contraction. For example, if you're lifting an object and you want to sustain the effort, then there are more and more action potentials arriving. So before the muscle fiber relaxes completely, the next contraction is already on. So the contraction is maintained like that, and that is what enables you to sustain the contraction. Also, summation can occur across motor units, which means that if you are lifting a light object, like let's say you're lifting a pencil, then only a small number of motor units contract. So there is summation of or adding up of only a small number of motor units. But if you are lifting a heavy object, then there is recruitment of a large number of motor units. So there is summation of contractions across a larger number of motor units generating more power.